Are we ready to get started? If I can get everyone's attention. We had a pleasure, it was a real pleasure this morning to have the opportunity to tour Dr. Helena Jaksic through our facilities here in Kincardine and show her, as one of our primary funders, how those dollars roll out sort of on a frontline basis in real life in Bruce County. So thank you for taking the time to do that today.
So hi, this was Lisa Owen, Executive Director. I don't know if you introduced yourself. Lori Harding, the Board Chair. So it is my great pleasure to welcome you all here today. And the Dr. Helena Jaksic, the Ministry of Community and Social, I really appreciate it. This is so huge for us. Great deal for us actually here at Women's House. So I would now like to invite you to welcome Dr. Helena Jaksic, please. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Lisa and Laurie for the kind introduction and for the tour, which I very much appreciated. I think I'm up to shelter number 30 or so across the province. I've got a few more to go, but you have developed a really welcoming place here for women who obviously are undergoing trauma. And I think what you've done with what you have is really remarkable. And I'm just delighted to be here in Kincardine this morning, along with my colleague from the legislature, your local MPP, Lisa Thompson, member from Huron Bruce. I want to assure everyone that Lisa talks about Huron Bruce. She does say it's the most beautiful riding. Like, we all have our own prejudices. Of course, I feel Oak Ridges Markham is the most beautiful riding, but certainly Lisa does a great job in representing you, and I'm delighted your worship and your mayor, Anne Eadie, was able to join us this morning. I had the pleasure of being in Wyerton yesterday, and your colleague, the mayor, Janice Jackson, was able to greet us there. And Michelle Bell is here, who was my host from Community Living Bruce Peninsula yesterday and was able to come down for this announcement. So I really do want to thank Women's House, Bruce and Grafe, and the agencies across the province for the work you do each and every day in some way to help vulnerable Ontarians. And whether it's helping people and families who live with developmental disabilities, deal with domestic violence, or deal with vulnerable people in our Indigenous communities, you do great work, of course. So this announcement is hopefully to help you in the work that you do. And this is a very kind of nuts and bolts announcement, because we want to ensure that your physical space is safe, secure, and in good repair. Not the sexiest of things, just to fix buildings, but absolutely vital. And it's not just, of course, for the individuals who require supports and services, but also for the staff working in these buildings as well. So our government is helping community agencies to provide better services by investing in repairs, renovations, upgrades, and fire safety. So helping you pay for repairs and renovations and the cost of bringing your building up to the fire code means you can focus more on people and less on finding the funds you need to keep your building safe and secure. And so to this end, the Ministry of Community and Social Services is providing more than $22 million to more than 170 community agencies across Ontario for approximately, I love the approximately, 950 projects this year. It's a lot of work. So the funding is from two programs, the Partner Facility Renewal Program and the Fire Code Compliance Program. And when we say partnership, the Partner Facility Renewal Program, really this is all about partnership. Obviously our provincial government has a role, but so does the community as well in terms of providing what they can. I know fundraising is a tough job. I've met your fundraiser this morning, and there are only so much that the community can provide, but what I've heard about Kincardine and Bruce County is that you have some amazing businesses and individuals, of course, who are prepared to step up to the plate as well. So the Partner Facility Renewal minor capital funding are for repairs, renovations, and upgrades. And under this program, our government is investing approximately $16 million in more than 150 community service agencies for approximately 850 projects across Ontario to help repair, renovate, or upgrade more than 500 facilities. And so if you just think about this, this is a huge project for the staff in the ministry to evaluate all those applications. Obviously, you know, we're guarding taxpayer dollars. I want you to know that, Lisa. And we have to assess each of the applications and make sure that, of course, it's a worthy project. And so there's been a lot of work to ensure that these are needed, they're a priority, and so on. And when I saw these numbers, it sort of struck home to me how each of our regional offices has to go out and assess and ensure that the dollars are going to the very best use. And so similarly, we are investing in fire safety. Mandatory sprinklers were one of many new requirements that resulted from our amendment to the Ontario Fire Code on May 9th, 2013. It took effect January 1st, 2014. And Ontario was the first province to make sprinklers mandatory in homes for our most vulnerable citizens. But of course, we do recognize that it is difficult for many community service organizations to afford the cost of bringing their facilities up to the fire code standards. And so that's why our government is investing, of this $22 million investment, it's $6.5 million in fire safety for more than 90 facilities from over 30 community service agencies across the province in 2017-2018. So that means much needed funds for projects such as fire alarm systems, upgrades, and installation of fire doors. This investment brings the total funding to improve fire safety in developmental and community service agency facilities to more than $21.5 million since 2014-15. That's actually since I became minister. And one of the big advantages of having stayed in this ministry now for over 3 years is that continuity of being out in the community and visiting individual facilities and saying, oh my goodness, like when I visited Dryden, and the shelter there is actually sort of falling down a cliff. Anyway, you know, obviously each community is very different, but having that ability to stay in a portfolio and sort of assess the needs has been, I think, certainly a wonderful learning experience for me, but I think it's meant quite a bit for the agencies as well. So what does this all mean for Bruce and Grey and Huron counties? In all, agencies in those three counties will be receiving almost $700,000 to provide more secure and accessible facilities. And so one of the recipients is the facility we were at today, the Women's House serving Bruce and Grey, which will be receiving $125,000 to make repairs, including to the foundation of the building, which I understand is long overdue. So I think we all know that community and developmental service agencies play an invaluable role in providing critical services to many people across Ontario. And by investing in repairs, upgrades, and fire safety, we're ensuring that individuals that require services at these agencies have access to improved facilities, and that staff who work tirelessly assisting those who require supports can focus on what they do best, helping people in our communities. So thank you for the work you're doing each and every day to support some of Ontario's most vulnerable people. And thanks again to Women's House serving Bruce and Grey for having us here today. Thank you so much.
This is really exciting news for us. I don't know if you're aware, but we have our outreach building right here, and this far corner, and I forgot to show it to you on the tour. We were in the office, actually, that's sinking the most. We're sinking. We've got some moisture issues, some rotting sill plates, and so what this funding is going to enable us to do is make the necessary repairs with those funding dollars, because we didn't know where that was going to come from. And if we use our fundraise dollars to do that kind of work, that has a direct impact on the level of service that we're able to provide in the community. So this is huge for us. It buys us, you know, another year of maintaining the status quo and meeting the needs of the vulnerable populations in Bruce and Grey counties. So thank you so much for that.
And the same on behalf of the Board of Directors, our tremendous, amazing staff, and most importantly, our clients who have the strength and the courage to flee violence and come here. We applaud the provincial government for investing in this much-needed repair. Huge burden relief for us. So, and this will allow us to continue to provide the support that we need to the women and children who are victims of violence in our community. Thank you very, very much.
We're fortunate to have Mayor Ann Eadie here with us today, and I understand that you've agreed to say a few words. So always nice to have our local hometown community supporters here with us for special events like this. So thank you as well for coming today.
Is it still morning? I think so. Yes. So good morning, everyone. It is exciting to be here today. And my family has been involved in community living right from the start. And the Women's House, I remember when we were hearing about a Women's House coming to Kincardine, and some people said, well, why do we need one? And so that was a good reason. The education component was necessary, as well as having the old nurses' residence that was probably built when the hospital was back in early 1900s as a physical place for them as a start. And everything, whether it's the Women's House or community living, needs a place to start. And I really think having the professional services that are offered here at the Women's House and also the accommodation has made a big difference to our community. I remember the days in some families where a woman with her children had no place to go and had to endure some pretty undesirable situations. And in rural areas, it can be very isolating if you're on a concession road and you have no place to go, and your relatives already have their own children and families to look after. So this has filled a much-needed gap. So thank you today for this announcement of funding, because I've gone to several fundraisers for the Women's House, and I know from doing fundraising myself, it takes a lot of fundraising and a lot of effort, and if you can get a boost with the money you've announced today, that's wonderful. So I would like to, on behalf of the municipality of Kincardine and its staff, we have our new CAO here today, Sharon Chambers, and also all our council and residents. I'd like to welcome you, Minister Jasnik, here today. And this is your first visit to the municipality of Kincardine. I will have you know that we rate 9th in Ontario as one of the best places to live. So we we truly hope that you've caught a little glimpse of our community. You'll like it. And we're little Scottish here, so we say, will ye no come back again? We honor our Scottish roots. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again, and thanks ever so much.
Thank you, Mayor Eadie, for that. And thank you to the minister again for coming today and choosing Women's Place or Women's House as the place to make the announcement. We're really extremely grateful for the support we receive from the ministry as well as from the community supporters that we're so fortunate to have here in Bruce and Grey counties.
So, and again, thank you all for coming out today to support this. Thank you so much, Minister Jasik, for very much appreciated. Everybody, please help yourself to some refreshments. The minister is going to be with us for another 15 minutes to answer some questions. And thank you.